Well, I'm here kind of sort of sharing a project with you and testing what's going on with my live stream and explaining what happened in the last one. Hi, Melody. Look, I got this project. You were here. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was very strange. The last live I did, I was noticing that um, people were asking me questions about things that I had talked about or done, quite a few minutes before their comments. Well, anyway, I realized it was really lagging. It was going crazy. And by the end of the stream, we figured out that there was a almost 30-minute lag. So it was very strange. So I'm just coming on here kind of sort of testing and see if this happens again. And they were also hearing the audio kind of cracking up a little bit. The audio wasn't, perfect for everybody. So, so let me know, anything that's going on. It's not going to bug me. Just go ahead and let me know because it's the only way I'll know because when I'm viewing what I'm streaming here, there's not a problem. So I appreciate when you guys let me know what's going on. So what are you guys up to? I'll know if you guys, how much a lag there is by how quickly you answer me. Oh, it's been a long day, but a good day. We got a lot of things done. I did 2 batches of, yeah, I think so, Linda. I'm not sure what's really going on, but it's pretty crazy. But I got 2 batches of my eco dyeing done today. I was running a little low because I sell them in my store, my Etsy shop, and I was getting low. So I thought, well, I better make some more. So I did. So I got that done. We worked outside on some wood doors that we're going to seal up tomorrow. So we wiped them down really good and got those all ready for tomorrow because we're supposed to have sunny day again tomorrow. And that's been my day so far, in and out of the studio doing things. But anyway, I wanted for the sake of this live stream to see what's going on. I thought I'd share with you my latest project. Now, Melody was over here at the studio yesterday, so she saw what I was doing. And so I'm just going to share with you guys, because sometimes I'll show a finished project, and, inevitably I'll get the question, well, how did you do that? And what were the stages? And do you have a video? And do you have a tutorial? And usually I go, no, 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 because I kind of work spontaneously, and I don't really sit down and think it out and then do a tutorial. But I do have the different stages of how I made this. And so I'll go ahead and show that because you can apply it to any kind of a project. It doesn't have to be, the one that I'm doing, but, you can apply it to anything. But anyway, I saw somebody had tagged me over in Facebook. And there is a photographer, and I failed to write his name down, but he's a photographer over on Instagram. And he has photographed these Ethiopian men and women that dress up with all of the flora and fauna in that area during certain times of the year for their festivals. And they paint their faces up, and then they just go crazy and put all these beautiful flowers and leaves and everything all over them. So I thought I wanted to try and copy that. And this is the first one I made yesterday. And it's kind of sort of ended up the way I wanted it. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to, but it's my first one. And so I know at least now what I have to tweak and what I need to do and what not to do. And how to come up with this. So I'll show you what I did and how I did it. And if you have any questions, hopefully, you know, we won't have that big lag and I'll be able to answer you guys. All right, so I did this just on, what kind of paper is this anyway? Hold on 1 second. I use so many different kinds. This paper is, it's for colored pencil. Like I say, I just grabbed paper, and this is the paper that I used, all right? And before it gets all painted and everything, this is what it looks like. It's pretty heavyweight. It's, does it say on here? Yeah, 114 pounds. So it's good enough. I mean, it's pretty thick, so you wouldn't have a problem with it. All right, so then I sketched out a couple, where are they? I sketched out a couple of designs. And the other one's here somewhere. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I sketched out a couple of these designs based on some of his photographs. And most of them are women. I think just one was a man that I did. And the rest were women. So then after I sketched that out, then I decided I wanted to make some kind of a stamp for the project. So what I did is I got some of that, the fun foam, and I got the one that has the sticky back, and that's what I used. So then I got some carbon paper and put the carbon paper down, and then I sketched, traced over the sketch, I should say, and then it gave me, you know, a vague, a light impression, you know. And then I went back with a pencil or a pen and then made, you know, indentations into it to make a groove. I'm trying to find my stamps. Oh, they're over here. And so I ended up with this. I cut it out, and then I just, because it does have the sticky side, I just stuck it down to some cardboard to make it a little bit more secure. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Michelle. I think I said hello, Linda. I hope I did. So I ended up, I only have done two stamps of the 4 sketches. I haven't done the other stamps yet, but I think I will, because I like the way it came out. So, so anyway, so these are the 2 that I ended up with. So then what I did is I got my jelly plate, and I put some colors on the jelly plate. And then for 2 different, where are they? Hi, Michelle. And so what I did with these is I did it 2 different ways. I put the paint on the jelly plate, and then I rolled it on, and then with the brayer I rolled it on the actual stamp, and I stamped it. And then I also put the stamp on the actual jelly plate, and then used the leftover paint and stamped with it. And then I also printed on the jelly plate itself. So one of these is on the jelly plate, and the other one is with the stamp. And now I forget which is which. Yeah. I forget which gave the deeper impression, the when I stamped it or when I lifted it off of the jelly plate. Well, maybe we can play for a few minutes. I'll try it and see which way works better. Okay, so anyway, so that's what I started off with. Okay, where's my lady again? How can I get so disorganized in a small little space like this? Come on, where's my done? I can't find the one I finished. I'm sure you're all there hollering, telling me exactly where it is. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so that's how this started. It started off with this stamp right here. And then I came back, and based on the photographs that that guy has on Instagram, I did some of the painting around the face, and almost all of them have these beautiful flowers and leaves draped on their head and on their shoulders and even stuck in their ears and all kinds of pretty stuff. So, so that's what I ended up doing with the girl. But I started off with my homemade stamp. And then, so I did this. So I stamped it on here. And then I came with my different different paints and filled it in, because I didn't want these colors incorporated in the face. So I had to do the background after I stamped, because I didn't want those colors bleeding through. And so here's a few of the ones that were already stamped, and then me coming in and filling in with the paint. So then the next step, was then I went around and I was cutting from various books that I have, different crazy wild flowers. And so maybe you can just hang out with me for a little while I glue some of these flowers and see which ones I want to incorporate in there, and we can see if this crazy live stream thing is working again. Let's see. Look at this giant orchid. I think this is pretty cool myself. Oh, Vicky, you're always doing stuff too. What are you talking about? All right, so the book that I was cutting out from was orchids from all over the world. So, and it's a big book. So at least I have a lot of big flowers to choose from. Let's see. You have this book? Which book? Oh, the orchid book. Isn't it a gorgeous book? That might be too big, although I do like it. Okay, let's see now. Let's see, what did I, hold on. Yeah, I used the, I did use the foam sheet and then just traced around. It's around here somewhere. I got too much junk already. Yeah, used one of these and then I just pressed down on the foam. And that created my stamp for me. Well, if you want to make headdresses for people, those big flowers do the trick, let me tell you. And you know, it looks really cute. I don't have it anymore. I gave it away, but I got different animals. I got, you know, farm animals, like traditional ones, like ducks and pigs and chickens and roosters and things like that. And I got pictures of their heads and put a bunch of flowers and weeds and all kinds of stuff on their heads. And it looks really cool. So you could do that with animals if you know, because a lot of people don't like to work with faces at all, human faces. But the animal ones can come out pretty cool. This one almost looks like a cucumber. I kept looking, I go, what does that remind me of? Cucumber. I think I want red. I got too much yellow going on. Whoa. Okay. This is big. You cut that in half. Okay, where's my scissors? Of course, I didn't have my scissors here. Help me, help me. I've got a whole bunch of other ones. I think if I go with a larger piece of paper, like you said, this could be a body. And help me. Oh, well. I got lots of them. I got lots to choose from. I can sacrifice this one. I can sacrifice this body. Okay, so now if I get some smaller ones. Took me forever to get the other one just the way I liked it. I do like that though. See, too much orange. It's just that most of the orchids, you know, they're kind of all in the same color theme. I like that. It frames her face really nice. You got to visualize her with her eyes. You got to visualize her with the rest of her face intact. I kind of like that one. I'm not going to glue it yet, but I do sort of like that. I want to look at that for a while. Let me live with it a few minutes. Okay. Too big. I don't really want to cut them unless I have to. Looks too much like a horn. Okay, let's bring this one back. Hey, I kind of like that. Ooh. Contrast, contrast. I like it. All I really have to do with this is maybe trim this a little bit so I can bring it down and still be able to see the eyes. I'm kind of liking that one. I'm kind of okay. I'm kind of liking this one. It's funny enough looking to be cute. Okay. Okay. Let's look at these. Get all this other junk out of the way. See what we think. Now these are just little. Hey, Megan. All right, let's see. I saved all the little scraps because you know cut the shapes out of all these pretty colors. So I'm not sure if I need anything else. I'm not sure if there's too much white there, although I like it. But I'm kind of second guessing myself with that one. I don't know why. I mean, I like the shape. I like all the craziness. But there's some definition there that I think there should be that there's not. But it doesn't mean that it can't stay there. I'm just talking to you guys. Let's see, what else? What other orange do I have? I mean, I have the whole book, but I'm just going to work with what I have cut out so far. Ooh, look at that. Purple. There's just too many colors to choose from. You would say that. That it looks like a Hawaiian girl. It sure does. Except these are supposed to be from the Suri tribe in Ethiopia. Lena, did you bring I know you said you brought a bunch of fabrics. Did you bring other stuff too besides your fabrics? I saw your Asian fabric. That was gorgeous. All right. Now, and see, I have some African fabrics that I've collected over the years from different friends that have gone to Africa. So I want to do something with that pretty soon too, but I don't know what. The purple, oh my goodness, I have so many purples. Which purple? Oh, I know which one you mean. One that almost looks like an iris, huh? Hold on. That one, huh? Oh. I was just telling Melody yesterday that when I lived in Hawaii, I lived about, oh, maybe it took 10 minutes or so to go to the orchid nursery. And I mean, they had acres and acres and acres. And they had this greenhouse that was gigantic that tourists could go to. And then the locals could go in and meander along, you know, looking at the other stuff, like with the nursery where all the babies were, right? And I never really thought that much about orchids until I moved there. And I think when I saw the variety, then I thought, oh my goodness. And each one was just, you know, outdid the other one. They were just so beautiful. I think this is going to have to be a solitary one, all by itself with a few other things draping down. I don't want to waste it being covered up with all these other ones. It's too pretty. Too pretty. And then when you'd walk in there, because see where the orchids grow is on the big, well, this particular one is on the Big Island, and it was, you know, halfway up the mountain, halfway up the volcano. So they liked that temperature. They liked the moisture. They liked the humidity. You know, it would cool down at night and warm up in the day. And they just grew and grew and grew. It was crazy. And anthuriums, you know, if you think of anthuriums, usually you just think of the red ones because those are the ones you've normally seen, but there's all different colors. Yes, it's spinning. See, there we go again. And before you know it, those of you that, you know, came in later, last night, oh my goodness, it was crazy. It was crazy. What ended up happening the last time, I forget what night we did that. We were live streaming. And I didn't realize what was going on. And by the end of the stream, it was a half-hour lag. I couldn't figure out why people weren't answering my questions. And they weren't answering my questions because it was still another half hour before they were going to hear me ask the questions. I was thinking, how come nobody wants to talk to me? So yeah, other people that I watch, same thing's happening to them. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's very frustrating, because you want to interact. I mean, if you're live streaming, the whole point is you want to interact, and you can't interact if you're not, at the same time. It's very, very difficult. Okay, let's at least try and glue one down. Let's see if we can at least do that before I lose everybody. All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put these down like that, maybe. Or maybe not the whole thing, maybe half of it. I might edit the whole thing. Who knows? Put smaller flowers or something. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, what did I do? Oh, this is a brand new one. Brand new, yay! Now I have really no particular glue that I use except, glue stick. I get what's on sale or what people give me. So I'm not, I'm not loyal to any particular glue. I'm not loyal. All right, now, where did the orange go? Here it is. I do like that. And maybe, here I go now. Here I go again. No, I understand. I have to leave the streams too, and it gets like seasick. I don't blame you. Thank you for trying. I don't know, people. I kind of like that. Maybe. You're not buffering, Vicki? Maybe because we're almost neighbors. Okay, let me just put this down. I think I need to just put this down. I think. And then maybe, yeah, I'm kind of liking this. Let's just work with this. Let's just work with, let's put this right here. Oops. I'm trying to use my new glasses. I don't know why I have a hard time getting used to my new glasses. I almost always go back to my old ones. And it's just for reading, but for some reason I can't get used to them. Okay. Now, what was next? That was next. Right there. I know the other night, what was that, Wednesday or Thursday, some night, we're over on Jessica doing her sale. Was it that way or the other way? Her sale, and oh, I kind of like it that way. It was the other way, right? Yeah. See? I like it better like that. Now it looks like a real freaky hat. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, hers was doing the same thing. Bye, Don. I kind of like it too. Now, let me see if I have. Let's see. I don't have anything small. Well, maybe I could cut out of my scraps. Bring in a little bit of the orange. Let's round this out a little bit. Some more of that pink there. Yeah, yeah. Maybe behind it. I think so. Okay, that's what we'll do, I think. I'm so confident. I'm just so confident. Okay, let's do that. Let's just do it. These are all just tests anyway. I'm not really even sure what I'm going to do with them or if I'm doing anything. But I just wanted to see if I could make the stamp, and I just wanted to see the process. I had it in my head, you know, what the process was going to be. And so I just wanted to shoot, you know, basically see if it would work. Okay. Okay, so that one's glued. Oops. Put that there. Kind of like that. Kind of changed the whole look, huh? Okay, let's just put that down. Just so we can get a basis, because I know the buffering is driving you people crazy. And those of you that just joined, I'll show you the stamp that I made to make this. And maybe it'll inspire you guys to make one for yourself. Alrighty. I'll put that there just because. I like that there. Yay! Okay, so for those of you that came in later, this is my first one that I made. And I made, where'd it go? I made a stamp out of the sticky foam, the fun foam with a sticky back. And I traced something out, made a stamp, and that's what these are. These are stamped, and then I'll come back on these and finish up the faces, because these aren't, where'd the other one go? Oh, these aren't done, obviously. And then I'll come back and finish it off like I did this. And I have about 4 different stamps. I've already made 2. I got 2 more that I've already got, ready to go. And go from there and see what happens. I think it'll be kind of fun. And over on Instagram, there's this guy who has his pictures up there. And these are a tribe in Ethiopia that adorn themselves with all the flowers and the foliage and everything, and during certain festivals during the year. And those are the photographs he took. And so that's what I was trying to mimic, was them with all the flowers. So it was fun. So I would encourage you guys, if there's any kind of a shape that you like, that you can't draw, don't think you can draw, or can't find a stamp, just, print something out and then sketch it, onto this. And with a pen, you can just, make the engraving, the etching of it. That's where all those lines are. And then go for it and see what happens. No one's going to see it but you, unless you decide to share. No one's going to see. And, these foam things, they're pretty cheap. You can make mistakes. The cardboard you're recycling. The book you're recycling. This is a really good little project that costs little to nothing. And you might come up with something that you really, enjoy doing. So later on tonight, what I'll do is I'll come in and do the eyes, paint up the lips, and do the drawing that they do on their faces with the different colors. And then that'll, brighten it up. And look, I think it'll be pretty cool. But like I said, it can be adapted to anything. It doesn't have to be faces. I think it'd be pretty cool if you did animals, cows and chickens and all that kind of stuff. Just a headshot, and then filled it up with flowers, like they're out, in the pasture playing around. I think it would be pretty cool. Hold on 1 second before I go. They're not dry, but I just took out a batch of my eco printing. I'll bring a couple over and show them to you. Hold on. They're still pretty, whoops, ow. They're still pretty wet. And, well, this is almost dry. So these are the leaves that during the fall, you know, I picked up and didn't get everything off. And I freeze my leaves in the fall so that I can go ahead and keep printing during the year till spring comes. Ooh, that one came out pretty cool. Oh, too bad Dawn's gone. Dawn sent me some eucalyptus, and that's from the first batch she sent me. Those print pretty cool. Now, I use a lot of different papers, and I don't know which is which, to tell you the truth. All real cheap paper, nothing special. And this is a file folder, a lot thicker, so it's still a lot wetter. Anyway, I got a whole bunch over there on the rack drying up. And this is a sweet gum tree. Sweet gum, yeah. And this one I got in the parking lot of Home Depot, so I don't know the name of it. I can identify what parking lot I stole it from, but I don't know what the tree is. There's a sumac right here. That I do know. More sumac. And these are marigold leaves, the flowers, I should say, the petals. And I just tore the marigolds apart and just sprinkle it in there. That's what that yellow is. And here's some more of the sweet gum. So anyway, pretty cool. I love doing this. It's addictive. I never get tired. And I have, you know, pretty steady customers that they just keep buying this paper. They use it in their collage work, in their different kind of artwork that they do. They put it in their journals. I mean, they keep using it. So I have to keep making them to replenish it, but it's fun. I like it a lot. This is one thing I never get bored doing, because no two are ever alike. So it's, you know, every time you lift it up, you go, oh, ooh, at least I do. I go, ooh, ah, ah, because you just never know what any particular leaf is going to do. And depending on, you know, your concoction, the concoction even is different each time. What I put in the water, what I don't put in the water. Because a lot of people say, well, how did you get that look? I'm not trying to be evasive. Sometimes I really don't know which of the many things I did caused that look, because I try to replicate it, and sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can, but most of the time I can't, because, you know, everything had to be just the same. And because sometimes the water contributes to it, sometimes the plant contributes to it, sometimes if I put metal, sometimes if it's all different. But that's the fun part, the experimenting. And if I was smart, I would write down what I did with each batch, and that way I would know. But I'm just not that smart to do that. Plus, I really don't want to do them the same again. I want it to be different next time. So that's why I don't really pay that much attention to it at all. On this particular blue, Linda, all of this blue right here is red cabbage. When you work with it, it turns blue. You can also make a dye out of it. I've done where I put lace into it, and I put seam binding, and it's a really beautiful color. And a lot of these that are done with fruits and vegetables, they're not real color fast. I mean, I wouldn't be dyeing things that I'm going to wear because it's going to fade over a time. But things that we use in our mixed media or in our journals that, they really don't see the light of day that much, especially in our papers inside of our journals. They're protected all the time because they're usually closed. So I use these with my papers and seam binding and things like that. But I wouldn't use these, these particular vegetables if you were going to like yarn or something that you were going to be, crocheting or knitting or something like that. But yeah, that is the red cabbage. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for putting up with this crazy buffering. It's really, really irritating from your end and very irritating from my end to have to put up with that. But, what can you expect for free? You get what you pay for, they say. So there's not much you're going to be able to do about that anytime soon. But, oh well. All right, if you don't have any other questions, I think we're going to call it a night. I'll give you a couple of seconds in case there's a lag, because I know there is. I know there's a lag. I know. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. And when I get those done, I'll come back and show you what I did and see if I'm happy or if you're happy. Because you might be able to do it, another project for yourselves and have some fun with it. All right. Thanks a lot, ladies. Stay warm if you're in the cold areas. I'm going to have a decent day tomorrow. It's going to be in the high 50s. But then on Tuesday, the high is going to be 32. So I have to enjoy tomorrow. All right, ladies. You take care. Good night.